guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. So today we're back to talking about Britney Spears, which I think I've already said before, and if not, I'm gonna say it now. I don't want to make this too long of a conversation in the sense of I don't want to post a video update every week because I do think that would be excessive, but I did see something which really did bother me, so I'm going to talk about it now, and then I'm probably going to wait on actual concrete updates about all of this before I talk about it again. Britney Spears getting close with criminal housekeeper amid Sam Asghari divorce. Now, right off the bat, I'm going to tell you why this pissed me off, and the title of the article is representative of the article, so I did read the article, but even if you didn't, the title tells you everything. And what I have an issue with here is, why is this relevant? Now, I'm not trying to defend anyone to the death in the sense of if I think someone's wrong, they're wrong, whether I support them or not. So here, yes, I support Britney over Sam Asghari, obviously, but I'm also not gonna pretend like she can't do anything wrong. Now, if she is hanging out with a criminal, we need to see the context of all of that. But more than anything, what did piss me off is, how is this relevant in this current moment? Because in this current moment, the discussion is about the divorce. It's about Sam Asghari being a gold digger who's gonna try and get money out of all of this. That is the conversation we're having. So unless this housekeeper person is directly related to that, we're really just starting the cycle over of calling Britney out, blaming Britney for things that are so just like irrelevant in the current moment. And these are going to be the same people who later are going to tell you to leave Britney alone, but then you're writing these dumbass art. Okay. Let's just keep going. Britney Spears has been getting close with a former member of her staff who allegedly has a criminal past, Page 6 has exclusively learned. The pop star, who is in the midst of her divorce from Sam Asghari, has been spending time since her split with a man we've been told is Paul Richard Solis. A source exclusively tells us the 37-year-old man was allegedly hired about a year ago to work for Spears, 41, in the role of a housekeeper to clean toilets, mop floors, and pick up trash. However, the insider who claims to have knowledge of the situation, isn't there always this famous insider? How interesting and how coincidental. Anyway, says the Oops I Did It Again singer has formed a close bond with her ex-worker and adds, I'm concerned. Also, petition for Page 6 and all of these online media publications that can't just say Britney Spears. What is that about? Why do you have to be like the Baby One More Time singer, the Toxic singer? Just say Britney Spears. She has a name. You don't have to list out her discography. Like, truly, why do you do that? It is shitty journalism, and I know nothing about journalism, but let me tell you, when I read these, it's just, why do you have to turn it into is there a minimum word count? Is that what we're dealing with here? The source also alleges that Solis was hired without a background check, which would have disclosed an extensive criminal past. Now hold on to extensive criminal past because you're about to get fucking wowed over here. Page 6 ran a search under Solis' name, which showed he's been charged with multiple misdemeanors and even a felony. In April of 2014, he was convicted of one count of disturbing the peace. He was also charged with child endangerment, which was dismissed due to a plea negotiation according to court records. So we have one serious thing. Okay. In 2016, Solis was convicted of driving without a license, while a separate charge of driving with a suspended license was dismissed due to a plea negotiation, per records Page 6 also obtained. Kind of a nothing burger of quote-unquote crime over here with the driver's licenses. Like, of course, follow the law, duh. But if we're talking about someone with a criminal past, I'm really not counting people driving with an expired license as criminals. But the alleged staffer's most recent run-in with the law took place last year when he was, according to sources, already working for Spears. Now we're getting somewhere. Per records, Solis was convicted of felony possession of a firearm in December 2022. Page 6 has reached out to the housekeeper for comment, but he did not pick up our calls. Sources also told Page 6 that although Solis was fired, the Princess of Pop has still chosen to spend time with the ex-con and is not trying to hide their newfound friendship. So let's stop here for a brief second. Now, the two things I deem actually serious here are obviously the child endangerment and then the firearm. So those two things, those are concerning, specifically the firearm in terms of Britney Spears, because obviously that could directly connect to her. That being said, I also think it's really fucking weird to bring any of this up without reason to. In the sense of, obviously tabloids and online publications are going to bring up whatever they can. that has to do with Britney Spears because that will get traction. Obviously, I'm talking about it, so I'm part of the problem, probably. It really is wild to me that amidst everything that's going on, this is what you decide to bring up in light of nothing. In the sense of, if Britney Spears did have problems with this man, okay, then it makes sense. But otherwise, it's like, none of these criminal things have any connection to Britney Spears in the sense of what this man did with child endangerment, what happened with the gun. None of that has brought any consequence to her relationship with him today, as far as we know. So why is this even a conversation we're having? That also leads to a more complicated conversation that we can have about criminals, quote unquote, and rehabilitation for criminals and criminal behavior. So if you think driving on an expired license is irreparable, that's fine. Like I said, the child endangerment and having the gun, I'm not really going to comment on that because I don't know anything, so I'm not going to say anything. That's also where this conversation is leading, right? Like, do you think criminals can be rehabilitated? Because the implication from this publication is that they don't, or else you wouldn't be dredging up someone's past unless you think that directly has something to do with what's going on now, which there's no proof of, which then returns to my main point of why the fuck are we talking about this? Especially amidst even worries about Britney Spears' mental health, unless they're going to try to connect this man to her mental health, which would be the stretch of a lifetime, but we've seen it happen before. Since her split from Asghari 29 last week, the toxic singer has been seen out with a mystery man in public on multiple occasions, including during an after midnight run for chicken and a Starbucks coffee run on Wednesday. Page 6 has been unable to confirm whether Solis is the man in question. Okay, so continuing the nothingness that is this article, you saw her out with a man who you imply is Solis the entire time, and then you can't even confirm it. Like, girl, what are you writing for? Like, what? Who gave you this assignment? The Gimme More singer has been accused of allegedly cheating on Asghari throughout their one-year marriage. However, Page 6 has also been unable to confirm these claims. Sources have told us, though, that Spears has isolated herself from friends and family during this difficult time in her life because there's still a lot of hurt there. So perhaps now she's seeking companionship and support in Solis. Now, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about this as well, is that, like I said, this is cyclical. Britney gets bullied, then people realize, oh no, she was bullied, she had a horrible time, now she has mental health problems that, you know, she might have had before, but surely that did not improve with the people around her. And then they start the same thing all over again. Because it's like, realistically, what would you do in the situation that she's in? Obviously, you're going to try to branch out, right? Your family drops the ball with you. A lot of the people that are quote unquote close to you drop the ball. They stab you in the back. They use things against you. Even your own husband, ex-husband, is trying to just get money out of you. What are you going to do? You're going to turn to other people. If this man is one of those other people, why is that so strange? It's like, bro, she's been fucking bullied, abused, harassed by all the people that were closest to her. Why is it a surprise that she would turn to someone who is quote unquote close, in the sense of he was a housekeeper, he was in her house, so he's like close by physically, and that probably has some level of understanding of what she went through, because anytime there's staff in a household, they know shit. Honestly, truly, if you go into, at least in my experience, any apartment building, if there's a front desk, if there's someone who even works sweeping the stairwells, dude, those people know everything. They see shit nobody else sees. They hear shit nobody else hears. So it wouldn't be surprising if someone who was in her space while she was going through God knows what would be a person she'd turn to. I don't think that's surprising in the least. Now, granted, she should have done a background check. Not for these things necessarily, but just generally speaking, whoever you're letting into your house at that level of fame, they need to be vetted for your own safety, more than anything. Not to know whether they drove on a suspended license, but really, you know, to make sure that they're not stalkers, that they're, which even then, that's hard to record, that's hard to find, especially if they're good at it. So that's irresponsible. The womanizer singer, do you see what I'm saying? Do you see how many songs we've already listed out? Just say Britney Spears. Just say Spears. Just say the pop star. The womanizer singer reportedly confides in her attorney's manager and at times older brother Brian Spears, whom an insider told us this week had been staying over and helping her alongside a therapist. Britney has a history of letting shady characters infiltrate her inner circle during vulnerable times. Following her split with Kevin Federline, with whom she shares 2 sons, in 2006, a man claiming to be the circus singer's ex-manager, Sam Lufty, became a key figure in her life. In 2008, a judge granted Britney a restraining order against Lufty following the approval of her controversial conservatorship due to claims he allegedly drugged and verbally abused the pop icon. Again, and this is not removing any responsibility from Britney Spears, because truly we are all responsible for our own well-being, though there is an argument to be made that when you're in a conservatorship and can't make your own decisions, the people who should be protecting you are your conservators, who we well know did not protect her, but frankly probably made things worse. They definitely isolated her, so I guess nobody was getting close, but there's a whole conversation to be had about how healthy it is to be fucking alone. Anyway, this narrative is interesting to me because they make it seem like Britney Spears has consistent bad decision making with the people who are close to her, right? But if we're looking at the pattern, just based on what's shown in this article, not even a bigger picture than this article, she is literally grasping at whoever is close to her within reach and trusting them. So she had this Lufty guy who was her ex-manager. She has the dude now who is her housekeeper. These are all people who look, not a coincidence, are within reach. They're people who are right there. They're people that she had to interact with and probably had the right to interact with because they're right there. That is something you do, in my opinion, when you are in that survival state. You will reach out to whomever seems like a potential option there because you don't have that many other options. And being real, even if she wanted to meet new people, someone like Britney Spears, do you think it's going to be easy for them to just meet new people who just don't want to like take her money or something? Do you realistically think Britney Spears can just fucking go get a pedi or a manicure and make friends with the people there like she's an average normal person? She can't meet people like normal people. Celebrities can't do that, let alone celebrities like Britney Spears who are already so involved in so much shit all the time. So when this article makes it seem like she makes all these bad decisions, it's like, no, she's actually just grasping at straws for the people closest to her that she can try to hang on to. You know it's a bad day on planet Earth when I'm the empathetic one here. I'm just saying. In 2019, it was extended for 5 more years as Britney's family alleged the ex-manager had been sending them harassing and threatening texts and disparaging them on social media. Lufty has denied wrongdoing. Page 6 has reached out to Asghari for comment about his estranged wife's new companion, but reps declined to comment. The family business actor, just say Sam Asghari, oh my god, who said shit happens after filing for divorce on August 16th, isn't he the poet, is currently living in a lavish high-rise in LA as the ex's attorneys sort out any disputes about the ironclad prenup. So honestly, I don't even really know what to say about any of this. I find all of this deeply disappointing because, like I said, not only is this news not particularly relevant to what's going on right now, the thing that bothers me here as a summary is that Britney Spears is often infantilized, she's often treated like she's incapable, right? That's, you know, how we get things like the conservatorship. People are supposed to be taking care of her, helping her. Those people don't help her, they make things worse for her, they actively, in my opinion, ruin her life for years upon years. People start protesting, being like, free Britney, all of these good things, right? And these online publications buy into that for a while until it pays their bills, right? So these online publications are like, yes, Britney, whatever. Then these publications start the cycle back up. The toxic cycle of taking someone who's obviously having a hard time and blaming them for a lot of things that really are consequences of things that happened to them. So like I said, Britney Spears has her own responsibilities like any other adult. That being said, if you're in a conservatorship and you get out and you finally can make your own decisions, to have these magazines running behind you because you're friends with your housekeeper who has some criminal past, okay, what are we doing? Like, what is the end goal of publishing this type of bullshit? Because it is completely inconsequential. If you're gonna talk about the divorce, if you're gonna talk about Asghari being a gold digger, if you're gonna talk about anything like that, that makes sense, and I take no issue with that, though I do think it is invasive, but that is the news for you. In this case, it's like, what are you hoping to get? Like, what is the best case scenario out of this page 6 article where you can't confirm a goddamn thing? I wanna know. Because I assure you, as soon as shit hits the fan again, which it will, Unfortunately, I strongly believe it will. I want to see where page 6 is when all that happens. And this is not me saying that her being friends with her housekeeper is the best decision ever. Like I said, I don't know. And that's exactly the point. None of us fucking know. So there's no point of saying if it's good or bad or whatever, because truly, whether this man has a criminal record or not, of course, you can come to some conclusions about people's criminal records, duh. But at the same time, there are plenty of fucking psychos that were hanging around her that are completely clear. So like, are we really going to draw lines now? Anyway, you guys can let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to my patrons as always, and I'll catch you guys next time.